Bitch, because that is so fucking hot. Like, we literally, when we were planning this episode, we were, like, getting horny. And it's happening again because, are you serious?
Bitch, what I was trying to say is this situation got me so wet and so dry at the same time. Exactly.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of So Wet, So Dry. I am one of your hosts, Autumn.
And I'm Fiji.
And we are back at it again. This is another remote episode. Unfortunately, that is what it's going to look like for the next couple of weeks and stuff. But we have a very interesting topic today that we are excited about. We're sipping on some seltzers. Yes, ooh. I have the high noon ones. They're so good. But yeah, we're just having a grand old time. And we want to start off the show how we always do, just by saying what we're so wet and so dry about in this current moment. And I think I'm going to go first. So, you guys, I'm so wet because basically, if you've been following along, I got out of a pretty long relationship recently, and basically we haven't talked, and I'm just wet because I still have all the sauce because he literally dropped off weed outside my apartment in the bushes and was just there's weed outside, go get it. And I was like, are you outside? And he was like, no, I left. And I was like, okay, show me proof. And I made him send him a picture of him in the car because I was like, I don't want to see your ass, but yeah, I'll take the weed. So are you kidding me? We haven't talked or been together in so long, and he's dating a new girl. He just still thinking about me, wants to drop off some weed for me. It just felt good, It felt good. That's all I have to say about it.
That's what we need from men, honestly, especially your exes. They should come delivering gifts. That's what
you deserve. Just do your fucking job. Yeah, exactly. So I'm really wet about that. The weed was okay. It wasn't even that fire, I'll be honest. So just kidding.
But it was free, so
yeah, exactly. What about you?
I'm so wet, honestly, because I feel like normally, I usually go for tall men. But I did make out with a short guy a couple weeks ago. Actually, I think it was two different. It was a short guy and then an average height guy. But normally that's not really my vibe. And honestly, I kind of fucked with it. So I have been, discounting the short men. Maybe I need to.
No, y'all. She's been literally ruling them out from as long as I can remember. She's it's a deal breaker. It doesn't matter if he was a fucking millionaire, hot as shit. She's like, no, I can't do it. Because her thing
I'm tall, bro.
Yeah, she's tall.
I'm 5'7", but I wear platform boots all the time. So it's I can't look down on you. I don't know. It was kind of funny though, because one of the dudes when we were making out, he grabbed my butt, and I feel he had to kind of reach up. It's funny. I'm we can't be seen, and I don't know. Maybe that's fucked up. I guess
no, because so many girls feel that way, and it's not you're saying short men suck and you can't date a guy shorter than you. It's just your preference, and honestly, it's most people's preference that I've heard. But
there's plenty of shorter women. Most women are shorter.
Right. That's why it's I don't worry about it. They are always taller.
Lucky. I'm always even if you're 5'11", it's a little bit I need 6'1" and up, preferably.
Yeah. I'm 5'4" for anyone who cares.
So he was probably 5. I think one was 5'11" and one was 5'7".
And 5'11" is short to you?
Well, when I wear my platform shoes, I'm definitely pushing 6 foot.
Hey, that's fat.
So, and it's so funny because I feel short men always are damn, how tall are those shoes? When you take those shoes off, we'll be the same height though. And it's all right, pipe down.
Right.
Lady.
They're always
okay.
Yeah. It's but the shoes aren't coming off. This is my look. Yeah, totally.
Exactly. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty wet about the podcast has been doing well. We've been on our weekly cycles. YouTube,
Yeah.
Spotify, killing it. But I am dry about some hate we've gotten.
Bro, people are so annoying. Like, I started posting on YouTube Shorts, and it's actually gotten us like a lot of traffic, which has been great. But we keep getting the same comment where people are like, "Your mic's not plugged in. You need a better mic." And you guys, we know.
No.
Like, do you think we're stupid? Like, we literally pass around the mic. We don't use the audio from that mic. Like, it was a prop. Okay.
Yeah, well, we initially wanted to use the audio, but it didn't work. Like, we couldn't figure it out. The mic didn't sound right. Like,
yeah.
We just felt like to be a podcast, you need to be official with a mic. So it was a prop. Like,
yeah, I know. And it's like, we're not proud of it, but it's like, where's your podcast, bro?
Yeah,
like, it's fucking, you know what I mean? Like, at least we're doing something. But anyways, like.
Or donate to the funds. Like,
right.
Cash App us, send a donation, and I don't want to see another complaint about the fucking mic unless you're paying for my goddamn mic. Okay?
Right. So irritating. It was like 3 dudes like in a row. There was like, just so you know, your mic, da da da. It's like, bitch, I know. Like, Anyways, so that was irritating. But I was like, okay, thanks for the comment though. Like, boosting the algorithm. Love that. Yeah. And there's been like a lot of girls on TikTok that are like commenting and saying they agree with what we're saying. So it means so much. And we're really, because we literally built this from the ground up. Like, no one is helping us. We are doing this all by ourselves. So, like, appreciate y'all. And also, fuck you if you think our mics sound bad. I don't care. So, yeah.
So, yeah. Definitely dry as fuck about that. But at the end of the day, it boosts the algorithm, so fuck them.
Exactly. Anyway. Keep it coming. That's what you were saying. We were getting so excited about it. We were like, oh my gosh, yeah. Do you want to introduce the topic for the day?
Okay, yeah. Today's topic is kind of kinky, guys. So the topic for today is all about exhibitionism. And if you don't know what that is, we didn't either. We literally figured it out because we were going to do an episode about kinks, but we were like, okay, we got to narrow it down.
Because we had so many, bitch. There was like, the list goes on. Like, it was crazy.
So we were trying to categorize because we have a lot of very different kinks too.
Yeah.
And when we were categorizing, we realized that the ones we had in common fall under the umbrella of exhibitionism. And we were like, yo, we're exhibitionists.
Right.
So we're going to let you guys know what it is because judging off of our Instagram poll that we did, a lot of you guys are exhibitionists as well. And you might not know it, but it is empowering sometimes to have like labels and know what you identify as sexually in case you get into the bedroom with someone and you want to tell them what you like, whatever.
So yeah, we just pulled these definitions from Google essentially, but basically it's extravagant behavior that's intended to attract attention to oneself. And it's also a compulsion to display one's intimate body parts or to behave sexually in public. So yeah, it's like, I mean, just off that definition, like we're going to go into it more, but we basically just want to start with like going kind of like how exhibitionism like relates to men and women. And unfortunately, like there wasn't any like research out there about like non-binary people. So like, I don't know, but like, this is like what we kind of came up with. And essentially it's like, this can be like an actual disorder. Like if you think about men in public trying to call like sexual attentions to themselves, like that gives like kind of a different vibe. And it's like that type of like creepiness, like this can be a disorder, like people get arrested for it, like.
Yeah, and that's what most people know exhibitionism as because there's laws against it. And that's pretty much if a dude, it could be a woman too, but we say men because the statistics that we found, it's predominantly men that are arrested for exhibitionism. And it's pretty much if they just like pull down their pants and show off their dick to the world.
Right.
Which as a woman, I feel like, and if you've lived in a city, you've probably encountered that experience. I know we have, like on the train in Boston, like in the city, like it's just, there's a lot of that, and it is like a mental disorder to some degree, but 100%. People can be arrested for it. And it's sexual assault. It's a version of sexual assault. So that's not really what we're talking about as much.
It's like, we're that.
We're those type of bitches. But it is important within that with the whole gender thing, women are more sexualized in society. So if a woman was to, pull, maybe if she's just straight up like showed off her pussy, like it'd be different. But like women wear more revealing clothes where you can see like your nipples or like even like the bottom of your ass or whatever, and it's normal.
Right.
Versus if a guy did it, it would probably be seen as more like sexual harassment.
Yeah, and it's like it's just like it's more socially acceptable for women to like show their bodies in that type of way. Like it's like what people like want to see and like all that stuff. So I think like when we are talking about like being exhibitionists and stuff, like we are more saying like in a kinkier way that we are.
Yeah.
And it's also like exactly like Fiji said, like we like to wear like a see-through shirt where you can see our nipples, and it's like it's not like that within itself means that you are an exhibitionist, but it's like that's something. It's like you feel very comfortable. And it's like it gets confusing because it's not necessarily if you wear a shirt like that you're looking for sexual attention,
right?
But some people are, and that's okay. Like It's okay if you do want to get sexual attention. Like I feel like that's why it's like we have dress codes and all that bullshit because everyone thinks it's about sexual, attention.
Right.
But a lot of women and people are like, no, I just want to wear this because it feels good.
Yeah.
But for me, like, yeah, I want sexual attention. There's nothing wrong with that either. So it's just like, but yeah, it's interesting.
It's both because I feel the same. Like I love to wear a see-through shirt because that's like a part of my body I'm the most confident in. And I talked about that on a different episode, but that was different because I was like, I posted it. And then I'm getting unwanted comments from people that are like, so it's weird. It's one of those things where in some ways it can be like a sense of like self-expression. And if maybe like the right person were to say something like,
yeah, and it's like
that.
Like wearing that shirt within itself, it's like you're allowed to like take back if you maybe when you go out one night and you wear that certain shirt with your nipples and you are looking for sexual attention, but then you post a picture later, it's the next day, you're allowed to like not want sexual attention anymore because that's not the only reason people wear revealing clothes like that.
Right, and
so it's
about
fine.
Consent too.
It's like you can take back consent anytime you want. So if that
exactly,
that's why it's like that's different.
So basically, exhibitionism. Even though we read the definition, let's break it down a little bit more.
Yeah.
As a kink, it's pretty much it's a bunch of different qualities that we'll go into a little bit later, but it's basically the idea that you like to be perceived sexually. Like you get turned on at the idea of someone else being turned on by you. And so usually you're acting in a way that tries to incite this type of attention. And so exhibitionists go very closely with voyeurs because the voyeur kink is like you like to watch.
Which we have heard of. We did know what that
I feel like you hear of voyeurs more.
I used to think that I was because I was like, I like being watched. Like, I thought it just went hand in hand. But it's really like the opposite. Like, you don't want people. Yeah. So.
Well, yeah, you don't like to be like, if you think about, would you ever be comfortable with watching your partner have sex with someone else? Or would you want to have watched? Well, I mean, anyone who watches porn is to some degree a voyeur. Like, that's a voyeuristic thing. But more in like, if you want to sit in the bedroom and like watch other people.
Yeah, it's different if you're actually like in the room with people. Personally, no.
Yeah, no.
I don't want that. That's not hot.
It could be with like mutual masturbation, and that's like exhibition.
I love that.
And that's definitely more of a thing. So like exhibitionists usually pair well with voyeurs. But exhibitionists can also pair well with other exhibitionists if you're doing things like mutual masturbation or, you like to have public sex. So
hot, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all need to get on mutual masturbation. If you have never done that before, like, it is just, I don't think I've done it with a guy. It doesn't really turn me on to see them.
No, like I mean, I like FaceTime sex. Like,
okay, yeah, that's different. But it doesn't, like, when a girl's, like, playing with her pussy, like, that's really hot. But when a guy's, like, playing with his dick, like, he just looks stupid. Like, I don't know.
No, I don't think
I'm just, like, anti-men right now.
I feel like if it's someone that you're, like, really attracted, like, I feel like I wouldn't want the first time I hook up with someone to be like that.
They're just, like, going, like, ugh.
No, like if you like their dick and you like fucking them, it's like hot.
Yeah, I
'cause,
think I'm
like,
just gay right now.
yeah,
But yeah,
maybe you're just in your lesbian phase of
I'm leaning.
bisexual. Yeah, you're leaning. But yeah, so
But
we'll
yeah,
break down all of the different things that might like different acts or different times that are exhibitionist like. But pretty much most of it starts in childhood. So like some of your early sexual experiences when you were a child are more likely to have you lean a certain way or not.
there was like, I was like bringing this up to Fiji, but like kind of like an example of this that is like pretty extreme. Like I fully believe with my whole chest that I am one of these, and Fiji does too.
Yeah.
And like I was basically in 7th grade, so I was like 12. And I was like in this math class, and there was like this one guy, and we used to like flirt or whatever. And like I don't know if I was just like uncomfortable and like didn't want him to do this, but I know that part of me kind of liked it. So it's like a little bit like of harassment going on for sure. Like I was very young. He was the same age as me. He wasn't like an older guy. But basically we would just like sit in the back of the class, and he would like put his hand like on my pussy, like over my leggings, and just like, you know, move his finger around a little bit. And like everyone would be looking and being like, "Oh my god, I can't believe she's letting him do that." But like deep down, I'm like literally so wet because I was like, everyone's looking at me. Like it's like a core memory. And like I remember I used to have like a hole in this one pair of my yoga pants, and then he started
Because he made it, or just
no,
'cause-
it was just a
Okay, I was
hole.
like, he
and he was like if you were a stripper, like your name would be easy access, like you just have a hole like right there, like ready to. I'm just like, bro,
in
but
7th grade.
yeah,
Crazy.
and I did not tell my friends about this. Like people did not know unless you were in that math class. You did not know. Like I wasn't telling anyone.
No, yeah, I mean, they were seeing it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But so yeah, I mean that was literally something. And I've also like done some other things, like in kindergarten, like me and my friend used to like examine each other's vaginas under a flashlight and like see if we're like healthy. And like I know that's just like kid stuff, but like she was literally like examining my cat and like
Would you get like turned on?
I don't think so, because I think we were like 6. I don't remember being turned on by it. I remember being giggly about it. Like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, like it's like kind of bad, but you're like,
Yeah, like I remember
yeah.
being like, oh my gosh, like, but like the math class thing in 7th grade, like I was definitely turned on by that.
No,
bro.
7th grade, like actually now that you say that, like 7th grade is really, I feel like when it starts to be like you get sexual and stuff, because
Bro.
I did start like butt tag on the playground, not the playground, because in 7th grade we didn't have recess, but we would go out for like walks. And like, you know how the yoga pants were like a big thing.
Such
and I
a
would
big
like,
thing.
I liked wearing yoga pants because I knew I had like a good butt or whatever. And I
Same.
was like, oh, like let's play butt tag, because I wanted like, to like be run around and chase. Yeah. So I feel like, yeah, I was
Totally.
definitely, it starts young. So like those early sexual experiences are probably going to impact you being an exhibitionist.
No, 100%. Because it's like, I don't think that was my choice for him to like start doing that. But I definitely.
Yeah, that's kind of like sexual assault.
I know. And that's why it's like looking back, I'm not really too sure. But like I do, but it's like, this is like fucked up, but you can still be turned on even if you're being assaulted like that. Or not turned on, but it's like your body can react even if you are like. So this is like really sad. I don't look back on it and like, oh my God, I was assaulted. But I definitely think some like weird shit was going on for sure. But like
I was class is kind of crazy.
I was down though, like because like these other 2 dudes would like watch him do it to me, like bro. And it's like it's because this math teacher, like she was out of her fucking, she was cracked out, bro. So she just like, I went to public school, like it was like
she didn't pay attention.
No. Like, no, it wasn't even a math class. I literally remember her name to this day. Like, she's a huge joke in my school because she's just so stupid. But, so yeah, that's how we got away with it. Our desks were close together. Like, I don't know. But, yeah, so that's like an early childhood experience, I guess, for both of us. And, yeah it definitely makes sense for, like, who we are as people. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and both of those things are very, like, it's like public, which is another one of the things, is like having sex, doing sexual acts or anything like that in public places where it's like you could be caught. And not just having sex or whatever, but also like masturbating or like anything like that.
Right.
And I know that was that one I feel like is a lot more common among people, like with their partner, like having sex in cars and parking lots. A lot of teenagers do when you're younger and you don't really have anywhere to have sex.
Yeah, so fun.
Yeah, I know. I was definitely fucking in the locker room and in the teacher's lounge and all about when I was younger. So I feel like, and then on like all the time, like I still would love like having sex in the bathroom at a bar if it's like
so hot.
Yeah, like so hot. Just like the idea that you could get caught.
Yeah.
And just like the adrenaline of like, oh, we shouldn't be doing this is like very.
No, yeah. One of the first times I ever sucked dick was like at a park in the grass. Like it was really just, we were out here like, and another one I was thinking of is like some people, like another thing that exhibitionists do is like walk around their house naked or just feel very confident naked and like feel empowered by that. And I know Fiji has stuff to say about that too, but I have this story where I like studied abroad in college and I was like on this abroad campus and I had two roommates and they were both women identifying and they were both queer. Like it was a great vibe. Like we were all chill. And I started like dating one of the other girls in the program, and we like fell in love. So I was getting a little bit more comfortable and like maybe I would like walk around the room like in my underwear or something because like it was my room. But there was this one specific time that I was changing and I was like late for class. I didn't want to go to the bathroom to change or whatever. So I just like changed in my room, like everything. I was like, I had my like tits out, I think. And I like walked over to get something like quickly. Like I wasn't trying to show anyone my tits. I just like was changing and like nothing happened. And then later I got like called into the like people that can get you in trouble. And they were like, yeah, like I heard like you made someone uncomfortable because you like took your top off. Like, can you just like go to the bathroom and do that? And I was like, are you, because this was a time where I was like very angry at the world. Like, I still am. But back then I was very just like, I don't know. I was just mad. I thought that like women were just treated horribly and I just wasn't about to take this shit. I was like, if she's uncomfortable, she can say something to me. Like, why am I in trouble? Like, I got so mad. But it's like just those little things. It's like some people are so comfortable to walk around naked or have someone see them. And some people are comfortable. It doesn't bother them. And some people, like, they can't even see that. Like, that type of thing, like, makes them uncomfortable. And of course, you never know what the reason could be. It could be like that girl had trauma about something. Like, you never know. But at the end of the day, like, come on. Come on, bro.
I know. And that's like the thing, too, because I know like some people in locker rooms when they play sports are very uncomfortable changing and they'll like turn or like whatever. And like for her, that was like a violating experience. So that can almost go under like be pinning you as an exhibitionist in the bad way.
Right.
Like, you know? And it's like, that's so weird because like we talked about with women, it's not really like as much of a thing.
And it's like as a woman, it's like, oh, it's just my tits. Like, who cares? Like, we're all women here.
Right. Both me and you definitely have always had more of that like idea of just like it's like just our body, like just walking around like we're free, like whatever. I've never had a problem like changing in a locker room or walking around naked, but like it does make other people uncomfortable sometimes. So it's like, oh, like sometimes I guess you got to check yourself.
Right.
But
and it's just so weird because it's like people were on my side. I would tell them what happened. And they'd be like, she's a queer girl. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, she should, you know, be accepting or whatever. But it's also just like, maybe she was really going through something. But, like, my tits really, like, triggered her. I don't fucking know, bitch. It's not like I, like, went up in her face. I literally was, like, in my section, just, like, changing. Like, it's just so stupid.
No, I feel that because I've definitely no one's ever said anything to me, but I definitely have felt like I've been in rooms with other people where I've like been changing or you're getting ready to go out and people are just like, not people, mostly girls are just kind of uncomfortable that you're actually I have this one friend. he's gay, and me and one of my other girlfriends were like changing to go out, and she like took her shirt off, and he was like, oh my God, like stop, I don't want to see tits, like that scares me, like whatever. But it's like we were just so comfortable like changing around each other, like it's fine. But
Right.
for certain people it's like weird,
I know. Because some people, it's like, I get it if you don't want to be freely naked. But for people that get, like, offended when, like, you, like, show yourself, like, in your literal dorm room, in a locker room, places where people change, like, that's where I'm just like, damn, like, you need to calm the fuck down.
Right, it's just a body.
Or
it's
go
just
get a
vessel.
single. Like, don't live with someone then.
No, exactly. But yeah, I walk around my apartment naked all the time. Like, we were talking about this earlier too, like with the whole window thing and like blinds and stuff. Like, I never have curtains, I never have blinds. I've had like people come over that like we were about to fuck, and like they like would shut the blinds, and I'd be so like, what the fuck? Because I never shut the fucking blinds. Like, what do you mean?
Know.
I'm just not concerned about people seeing me through the window, and if they do, I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm
right. Like, when I was younger,
okay.
Like, my mom would straight up get mad at me. Like, she would be like, why are you walking
Same.
around the dining room like that? Like, the windows are open. I'm like, okay, calm down. And I know people in the comments are going to be like, yeah, but what if someone's like a serial killer, or they're stalking you? But it's just like, at the end of the day, like, I feel like the whole thing with like feminism, like intersectional feminism, like, you're just trying to like take back shit and like take back your body. Like, this is mine. Like, honestly, like a creep, like not a creepy guy, but like a guy like walking by my apartment, like seeing my tit for 2 seconds, it doesn't bother me. Like, I don't care.
Right.
I literally don't care.
And if he were to like act on it or do something like whatever, that's his fault.
That's
like,
scary.
Weird, and that's predatory. Like,
yeah.
This, again, consent. Like, this is not an invitation. But I definitely have like masturbated like with the blinds up, thinking of the idea that someone's watching me.
Bitch, because that is so fucking hot. Like, we literally, when we were planning this episode, we were like getting horny, and it's happening again. Because are you serious? Like, that shit is, and obviously it's like, okay, you think about horror movies, like, why do you want that? But it's like, say it's a normal guy. Like, say it's a normal guy and it's just a fantasy. Like, I love masturbating in my living room on the couch, like when my roommate's not home. LOL, because she's gonna listen to this. Like, I'm not like messy with it. Like, I like whatever. But it's just like it hits different than like doing it in your bed, like in a location, like on the floor sometimes. Like,
no, I literally did it on the couch the other day, and like, the way my condo is set up, there's like the couch right here where I'm sitting, and then in front of me there's like French doors, like windows, and I had the door open, and my neighbor, who I don't know at all, was on the balcony, and I'm just on the other side, so like you can't see, but like you could hear.
Right.
I was quiet, obviously, but just the idea is just like hot. Like,
it's so hot. Like, I love it. Like, do you guys like that? Like, are we crazy? Like, I know other people do, but I'm so curious to see if you guys are like into this type of shit, because some people are like, hell fucking no. Yeah. I don't want someone to see me so naked through a window. Or not even embarrassed. Like, it's just like they're like, it's like respecting your privacy. Like, that's what they'll say. Or it would
turn them off. Yeah. Like, for us, I feel like it turns us on.
Yeah. And like, I don't, like, you're not disrespecting by, like, looking at my body. Like, you can look at it all day long, bro. I do not care. Like, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it.
Exactly.
So who cares?
But we like to be perceived. But with the whole, like, fantasy thing, too, another one that we talked about is, like, having, like, all the people that either, like, your exes or the people that you're fucking with or, like, people you're fantasizing about, like, masturbating to the fantasy of them all in the room watching you.
I can't. Like, literally, yes. Like, I'm like laying in my bed, like closing my eyes, like doing it, and like thinking about like people in a room, like watching me, like not touching me, like they're watching me. They're like they're close-ish. Like, they're not.
I like the idea of them maybe like fighting over me, but like watching. Like, they can't touch me. You feel me?
Like, we're in a glass box, like a like a symbolic They can't
And
get
I'm
in.
just a goddess, just like, you know?
Like in a cage, like ready to be.
Yeah. That's really how I look at exhibitionism, because to me exhibitionism like feels like a very like confident and empowered feeling where it's like, you know, you're being watched and perceived, so it's like you're giving goddess energy. Like that's just how it feels for me.
Right, like
yeah.
people are looking at you, praising you, like
Yes.
so curious to see like what you're gonna do. Like
Yes.
they're like waiting for you to come, like all that shit. We are obsessed with the like whole fantasize thing so much. Like we love to think about people watching us, and honestly, that's like one of the biggest signs that you like might have this kink or be into this sort of lifestyle. But in terms of like public sex, like me and Fiji have both done that a lot, like growing up now. So we both are trying to like share like one story, but honestly there's like a lot of them if you guys want to hear more. But one that comes to mind for me, like with my most like recent guy ex, he was just like dropping me off at my apartment like casually. I don't live on like a quiet neighborhood. Like I live like it was like people were around, and we were just like kissing goodbye, and it just got like really heated. Like I don't know, and I think I just started like sucking his dick. I've also Roadhead is really hot. We'll go into that after.
Yeah.
I will go into that after. I just remembered that. Oh my God, I have such a good one. Okay. But the one I was saying was basically just like we were kissing goodbye. It got heated. We started having sex. He like, you know, he like took that shit off. I like hopped on his dick while he was in the driver's seat. And like I was just like bouncing on it. Like we were going crazy. And like he ended up like hitting like what's it called, bitch? I'm drunk.
Alarm?
The horn. Yeah. He ended up hitting that. He pressed the gas, so you know, like when the car's in park, it's like that. Ooh.
He was just like,
it was wild, and like we both like finished, and like I just like went into my apartment, like it was wild. But the other story I was gonna say, I used to give this man Roadhead like a lot because we both liked it.
Roadhead
And
is so
one
hot.
time we were on the highway and we were like in kind of traffic, and I was like sucking his dick, and like I was like on my knees, so it's like my ass was up, like you know what I mean, like
okay, yeah.
I was like sideways, like sucking his yeah. So my ass was like at the window, and the window was rolled down, and I was wearing a skirt, so
not
my
the
thong
on your pussy,
bro, and he starts finger fucking my pussy. And he was like,
in the middle of traffic?
Yeah. And like, he knows that I have that kink of being watched. So like, as I'm sucking his dick, he's like, oh, people are laughing at you. People can see you. And I'm like getting so turned on because I don't even know if it's true or not. But I'm like, oh my God, they can see me. And like people, and I asked him after, like, did anyone actually see? He was like, yeah, one guy gave me like the salute. And I was like, oh.
I'm dead.
But that was bold, and I would not do that with anyone. Like, me and that man were together for 2.5 years, 3 years. Like, I felt very comfortable with him, but that shit was so hot. I haven't thought about that in a long time. Oh my God.
It was so hot because it's partly the adrenaline of you also, like, when they're driving, it's like, we could die. But also, like, people
and this is illegal.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I just, like, I love Roadhead. I haven't given any Roadhead in a while. I feel like...
Bitch, I have been in the car with you while you were doing it, and that other bitch in the back seat in Connecticut. Do you know?
Wait, what's
It was those two guys that you guys were, like, friends with. And you were in the front. You don't remember this.
No, you have to tell me later who it was.
Okay.
I don't remember.
But yeah, bitches love Roadhead.
Yeah, we love Roadhead.
It's so hot. And I can't believe people, like, saw him, like, fingering my pussy like that.
I mean, that's hot. Like,
it really
if
was.
If anything, like, if there were some voyeurs in traffic, they would be lit as fuck.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I have a story about not Roadhead, but having sex in public too. This is also with my ex of like 3 years. But it was in this like shitty bar in Atlanta, like just like a like hole in the wall bar. And it wasn't that busy. It was like a fucking Wednesday, Tuesday at like 8 o'clock. I don't even know. But we got fucked up at this other bar, went to this bar. We were like kissing in the booth. Like it was really hot, like making out. We go to the bathroom together. And like obviously the bartenders had seen us like hooking up hard as fuck in like the booth. So we start fucking in the bathroom. It was so good. It was so hot. But then the bartender came and like banged down the fucking door, which I was just like thrilled about. Like we were like laughing, like whatever. I was like, no, like I tried to fight him, like whatever. So we go sit down and we had to pay for our tab. And I was like on one, like I was like drunk and angry and still horny because I didn't finish, like we didn't finish. So I wrote like an angry note to him on the napkin. Like I was like, fuck you, you're just mad you don't get pussy or something ridiculous. Like I was like, you're a square, like something so ridiculous. So I like whatever. And then I like tapped my ex and I was like, ha, look at the note I wrote. And my ex thought that the bartender wrote the note to us. So then he went up to the bartender and he was like, yo, what the fuck? You said this to my girl?
Oh my God.
It ended up being this whole thing, but it was it was honestly like a really good night for us because it's so fun, like especially because we live together, to like get out of the house and like go have sex somewhere else. Like it's just, you need to do that, you know?
Yeah, because it's like if you have sex in the same bed, you're living together, like you have to switch that shit up because it's like if you go like take your girl and like fuck her on the balcony of a hotel, it's like you're fucking her brand new, like it's like a whole new experience. Like yeah, that's so real. But yeah, that's so hot. Damn, this makes me want to go like fuck shit up somewhere.
I know, I'm in my celibate era right now, but I'm just like, damn, should I be? But I'm in my celibate era because I can't remember who the fuck you're talking about that I gave roadhead to. So
yeah. And I've already said this story, but it reminds me of the time where I was like sucking dick in the bathroom in Atlanta and like all of those girls were like outside. People were like outside, like banging on the door. I was like, fuck it, I don't care. Like keep going.
Yeah, because they were very much like, what the fuck is going on? But it's like, you just don't
little did they know they were just adding to my fantasy by being there. Right. I was like, thanks. Thanks for making me like 10 times more nervous. But yeah, no, public sex is either you're with it or you're not, bro. Either you're with it or you're not. And like, I don't need my partner to be with it, but it definitely makes things like more interesting down the line if like they're willing to kind of
I need my partner to be with it because I do remember one of my exes like a while ago. Like we had sex, I think, in cars and places before, but I wanted to fuck him on the beach. And he didn't want to. And I remember thinking, like, I don't think I can have, like, a long-term partner that isn't okay with, like, having sex. And because that's something I really like. So it's, like, it is something, it's just one of those things to think about, like, when you're talking about your sexual compatibility with people, like if that's something that you really like, maybe you don't want to compromise it, you know? Or at least if they've never done it before, at least if they're willing to experiment, you can like start slow. I feel like
I feel like
lot is like
like I feel like if I had someone that was like absolutely not, but someone that's like, oh yeah, like maybe, like that's like different. Yeah. But also another thing I like to think about is if you're at like a social gathering, like it's not really a party, but it's like a gathering and people are like chilling on the couch and like people have blankets and shit. And you're like sitting next to the person, there's like a blanket over you and they're like fingering you and you have to like be quiet and like keep a straight face. Bruh.
So hot.
I will fall in love with whoever does that to me. Like I'm obsessed.
No, I literally, like, because I told you, I'm not having sex right now, but I keep making out with people in public and, like, being whatever with that. Because I think I really like that type of PDA, especially when I'm drunk. I think about it the next day and I'm like, damn, did I look messy? Especially because I don't want people to think I'm with this person. But I really just, like, I like it. Like, if we were, like, then we'll leave and I won't fuck them and I won't do anything because the fantasy's over.
Bro, for real. And then remember that time in Atlanta, we were at that after party and there was like a stripper pole and you had never been there before. And you looked over and I was giving that guy a lap dance like very intensely. Like that's another vibe. Like I was literally like grinding on him like no one else was in the room. Like and that was like people were watching me and I'm sure because I was not down for him. Like if we were not in that situation where people were watching.
It's the idea.
It's the idea. Like it's the fact that like everyone's watching me and like looking at me like I'm a slut. Like it turns me on. Bye. It does.
that's kind of goes into the next one, which is
Yeah.
like that type of performance and like lap dancing. Like one of the other signs of being an exhibitionist is that you like the idea of like stripping, burlesque, maybe OnlyFans, like those forms
Yeah,
of
like
performative sex, porn, you know. But
yeah,
it
like does that
say,
excite you? Like if you were gonna like, yeah, like making like sex tapes with your partner, because I've
yeah,
definitely done that and I love doing
yeah.
that.
And not, it's important because, like, I was like, oh, are all, like, strippers, porn stars, exhibitionists? And not all of them are. Like, some people
Right.
really just do it for the money and, like, are very detached from it and, like, being turned on at all. But,
And it's
I
like
mean,
respect.
yeah, it's respect to them. But both of us have experience in the sex work industry.
Yeah.
And I know for me, it definitely turned me on in certain instances. Like, we could have a whole other episode about that trip.
Yeah.
But
And we are going to get into it. But yeah, we've both done sex work before. And it just kind of furthered us to believe that we are this. Because we really check like all of the fucking boxes. And I think the idea about like stripping and OnlyFans and like making porn is it really is like a double-edged sword. There's good things and bad things, but the good things are like really, really good because it can be really hot to be like up on stage and everyone's watching you. Like you're the star of the show. Like there's
giving
honestly
lap dances and stuff with all the other people. Like I remember that for me, like, and again, this is talking about the exhibitionist aspects of stripping. I'm mostly talking about, I never did OnlyFans, I only stripped, but like giving people lap dances in that like lap dance area where there's other people giving lap dances too, and like people watching you or people thinking you're hot and wanting to give you money. Like it turns you on in a way.
Bro,
Like,
remember like it was like our third day. Like basically like Fiji and I like stripped together for like some months, and then when I moved, I like did it on my own, like very seriously for like a good amount of time. But when we did it together, do you remember when we first like we gave a lap dance at the same time to that guy in VIP?
with, like, yes. Yes.
That was just so crazy. But when we were giving like regular lap dances, like at that club we worked at, and honestly at the club I worked at out here too, like they were like you're like very close together. You're not like that's not like VIP. You're not in a room. Like you're out in the open, and like even some customers can see you doing it too. Like people in the. But yeah, I've done OnlyFans too, and I personally like stripping a lot better than OnlyFans.
Well, I've never done OnlyFans, but that's
OnlyFans was more work.
There more. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
OnlyFans was more work. It was out there more. Like at least when you're stripping, it's like only the people in the club. Like, you know, like.
Yeah, because I'm more turned on by that in person. Not just turned on. But
yeah.
Like comfortable with the in person. Like you have an alter ego. You go, you wear a wig. You have a different name. People don't know you. You're there. You leave. OnlyFans is much more. You got to promote it. You got to consistently create content. Like
right. And that was too much for me. It was too much. Like, it really was. Like, it was just, like, it was, and that didn't turn me on to, like, sext those guys, like, that would subscribe to me and, like, they would, like, want to talk to me. Like, that didn't turn me on at all. And there was a lot of experience that didn't turn me on at the strip club, obviously, too.
So many that were, in fact, traumatic.
Right. So. But when we're talking about this specific exhibitionism kink and the strip club, it was really hot. Like, you were walking around, like, half naked. Like, people couldn't just do whatever they wanted with you. Like, you had to like pay. Negotiate and go do it. So you're just like walking around like you're like a prize. Like,
and when you're comfortable walking around naked or being like,
it was so easy, dude. Like, there were some times, like, because at the club I worked out here, there was 2 stages, and after you would finish a set, you would go to the other stage. Some girls, like, they would already be naked from their first stage set, I included. We would just walk across the floor, go to the next stage completely naked. Didn't matter. And obviously the strip club is like an environment that's normal. Like, that's expected. Yeah. But it's like how normal it felt for me and how comfortable I was. Yeah. We're not people that are like obsessed with our bodies and like love our bodies. Like we've gone through a lot with our bodies and like didn't like our bodies at times and still don't. But for whatever reason, like when I'm naked like that, like it's like
it's so empowered. Like
yeah.
I really remember the first time we were in the locker room and just being like, because I've played sports, I've been in locker rooms before, but it's so much different when you're in a locker room full of like naked women and women in their bras and underwear that are just like chatting like there's no
and we're just
issue.
like, yeah,
on stage, like one girl has her top off. It's just like you feel so comfortable and powerful and like whatever.
Right.
I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, and it's really hot and like honestly, like maybe I'll regret saying this, but like when when you're a stripper, like you really can like do what you want to do. Like there's a lot of things that will make you, a lot of forces that'll make you kind of maybe do things that you wouldn't want to do. But if you are in full control and you're in a good headspace, like literally just do what you want to do. Like I would tell some customers, like, I just want to play with myself and you can watch. Like, are you down with that? Like, don't touch me, but you can watch. And some would be like, yeah, I'm so down. Let's go. So it's like that. And it was literally hot for me. Like I loved it. So it's just like, I don't know. Like that shit is so fucking hot, bro. Like, ugh.
I know.
But yeah,
I'll miss it.
we definitely, I know. Like, it makes me miss it talking about this. Like,
and
seriously, it makes me miss it so much. Oh my God.
And if you guys have questions, because I feel like it is really interesting, and there's a lot more girls that are strippers that do OnlyFans today, and everyone has unique experiences in it. I still feel like it's so important to talk about all of that. So if you have any questions or you want to share stories, like, we really want to hear from you. Because there's definitely, we wanted to do a stripping episode, but there's so much within it. So
yeah, and it's also like some of, like, we sometimes feel like we're not ready. Like I'm totally comfortable talking about like the benefits, or not the benefits, the positive side to stripping. But the other side is like a lot harder to talk about, but it's so important to talk about because so many women go into stripping thinking it's like, oh, I'm gonna make money, I'm gonna be free, I'm empowered, but no, there's a lot that comes with it. Oh, and you need to know like what you're getting yourself into. It's addicting. Like OnlyFans, stripping, like sex performance, especially if it turns you on so much, you feel so empowered by it, it can become addicting, and that's where the bad stuff comes in. But like overall, that definitely like reinforces the fact that like we are exhibitionists, because we loved that. Like we loved that. And there was some strippers that didn't like that, and they just like felt like they had to be there for money, or you don't know their story. But like if that idea just like excites you, if you think that like, oh, it would be fun to make a video like of me like doing something else, it would be fun for, you know, me to have all the attention and on me in a very sexual way, like it's a good sign that you might be an exhibitionist like us.
Exactly. And then so next ones is kind of similar, as like putting on a show for your partner. I feel like I don't know if I've like done, like, I don't think I've ever done like a strip tease, anything like. I'm more like in the environment of the strip club, or for like hookups or people I don't know, but I don't know.
I've done it before. Okay. And I like doing it, but it's also, it's a lot scarier, like doing it one-on-one for the person that you like love versus doing it for strangers. Like the stranger thing turns me on more. So much. Because you're more disconnected. You're not going to talk to them ever again. It doesn't matter. But like putting it on a show for your partner, like that makes me so nervous. But it is really hot. But I think I basically just done like a strip tease, like a lap dance. Like I like would dance a little bit for him and like kind of just, I don't even know. But it wouldn't even last that long. Like we would just start fucking like immediately. Right. Yeah. But yeah, that's just like different for me, but it does turn me on. Like I do like it.
Yeah, I feel like I would like it in the right instance. I just don't know if that I've ever tried it. So
right. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like it, you know, you've never tried
you never know until you try it. But I definitely would. And then we kind of talked about dressing sexy in order to pull attention. Like that's kind of, you know, showing off your body, reclaiming your sexuality in that way. It's kind of like a two-sided thing where it's not always, you're not giving consent just in the way that you're dressing. Right. But like I know, like I, especially with partners, like one thing I really look for in a partner is because I like to dress sexy. I like to show my nipples sometimes. I like to show under boob, like show my stomach, like whatever. I definitely want a partner that like thinks I look sexy and is turned on by the fact that I'm getting attention from other people.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. You know, like I've had partners before that like want me to cover up or whatever, and that like turns me off.
Yeah.
So I definitely want like a partner that is like comfortable with me and is turned on by it too, you know?
Right. It's like interesting. Like for me, like I feel like I like dressing like sexual and revealing because I do. Sometimes it's not even like we want that attention. We just want to show that like we're comfortable with this. Like we're sure of ourselves. Like I know that like this is how I like to dress. Like I feel no shame about it.
Yeah.
And like sometimes it is kind of, but okay, so here's the thing. Like I've been in relationships that get toxic, but I've never been in like an actual toxic relationship where someone was controlling me. So when you said like it turns you off when someone tells you to cover up, for me, like I kind of think that's hot because like it's a different kink, but it's like a control kink. But I've never had someone fuck me up where I'm like,
and I feel you though, because like sometimes it can be hot. Like even with my ex that was like toxic and abusive and wanted me to cover up, like sometimes I would think it was hot that he'd be like, oh no, like that's mine, like not in like because it gets because it's like if you do it in a sexy way, it's like, oh, he's like, no, that's just for me, like whatever. But like okay, sometimes, but like if I want to dress how I want to dress and you're telling me no, I can't.
That's different.
It's different if it's like a one night, you know what I'm saying? Like he's helping you pick out your outfit and he's like, no, for tonight, like I just want to, you know?
Yeah, and it can't be one-sided. Like it's like if he just wanted me to cover up, but I didn't think that was hot, like that's different. But if it was like a thing that we had where it was like, no, you can't wear that, that's mine. But it's more of like a joke, like it's not real. Yeah. Because I was going to say too, it's like at the same time, like, I don't want anyone to hold me back, like, ever. Like, I feel like I haven't had people that hold me back, but when I'm in a relationship, I hold myself back. Like, I will not dress like that. I won't act like my normal, like, charismatic, what's the word?
Charismatic.
Because I'm like out of respect for that person, but hearing you say that, it's like, yeah, like I want someone to just be so sure that I'm theirs and like be like, yeah, like my girl's hot, look, everyone's flirting with her, like, but they're not gonna get anything.
Because I get turned on by that. Like I've definitely
I'll be like, hey, like look at me with this person.
Right. Like I get turned on by me, but I also get kind of turned on by my partner looking sexy and other people wanting them. As long as they know. Like, okay, like this bitch might look at you, but then you come to me and you kiss. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't keep it in check. Don't take it too far, though.
But that's what I would do for you. Like, I want us to be able to pop out looking hot as fuck, and you know other dudes are looking at me, but like your arms around me, or like I'm gonna be kissing you in the corner or whatever. So it's like it should be a balance.
And it even like turns me on, like not like you turn me on, but like when we go out, if it's like us two or like even like your other friends too, and we're all dressed like baddies in that way, I'm like, damn, like we just are like the shit right now. Yeah,
honestly, because it's like moving confidence, move together. Like
I know, like I love it. This makes me want to go.
It makes me want to go out, bitch. I wish you were here. I want to just like go out tonight.
You have no idea. Like I need it so bad.
Next one, the last one is, and we'll recap these too. The last one is you love bringing your partner with you to shop for lingerie or sex toys or stuff like that. Like pretty much kind of what we're talking about, but like you want to go with your partner to help them find ways for you to look sexy.
Yeah.
Or do sexy things.
Yeah, like my boyfriend at the time used to take me to like the strip club stores so he could like buy me outfits and like toys and shit.
Yeah.
And the toys weren't for the strip club, obviously. That was just for like us. But that was definitely hot. But I remember when he like bought me my first toy, I was like, oh my God, he actually cares about me getting off. Like how cool. Like because he knows I like need a vibration.
Like, my ex, like I remember I was in Connecticut with my family and he was He was in
Oh yeah,
Atlanta.
he's such a loser. Bro.
Yeah, no, it's crazy though because we had FaceTime sex. And like I made it sexy because I wanted to get a vibrator and use sex toys, but he wasn't really. So I made it sexy, like I made it part of our like
Yeah.
how we were, which I feel like is a good way to do it. Like if you want to introduce something new, like do it in the moment, kind of like while still asking for consent, but whatever. So I was like, I should get a vibrator and you should use it on me. So like we ordered one together while I was in Connecticut. Like he helped me pick it out or whatever. But then he didn't want to use it. Like he tried to use it once and he was like, no, like
because he's so damn insecure. Like if your partner doesn't want to like have fun with toys, like even I feel like it's like when I think about toys, I would always think because like I grew up gay essentially, and so I was always thinking like, oh, like lesbians, like they use strap-ons, they use this, they use that. So I was like, I'm gonna be using that, which like obviously not all lesbians do, but then like you could like it's like straight people should use that shit too, especially because it's like
if clit stimulation.
Yeah, like, bro, like come on, like sometimes like fingers, like it's cool, and
if
like
you have long nails, sometimes like you can't really like reach right without like poking the fuck out of their dick and like whatever. It's like you need like a vibrator.
Dude, that would piss me off so much. Like sometimes I'd be like, can you fuck me in a way that I can actually touch myself?
Yes.
Because he'd be like,
it's usually easiest for me to like rub your clit like when you're like on your stomach kind of, and you have like, for me it's like one leg up. Like one bent, and they're from the back kind of like laying.
Because you're like lifted a little.
Because you're lifted a little and you can reach. But like in missionary type, like I could never like, I don't have nails right now, but usually I have like stiletto pointy nails. And it's just like, I'm too afraid I'm going to poke your dick.
Right.
With my nails while I'm trying to do this. It's just not going to work. So it's like, you need a rubber fucking vibrator.
Yeah.
Or dick ring. You know, they have those vibrating dick rings. Like
that's what he got too. He was into it. Like he was cool. That was the good thing about him. He did not get insecure when it came to toys. Like he would wear the cock ring with the vibrator attached to it.
I hate the word cock. It just turns me off. If I'm ever sexting with a guy.
What do you like dick cock better?
I'm like, yeah, dick. Yeah, dick.
I think it's cock is kind of hot. Not the way I say it. I'm sorry. I'm giving her the ick.
Yeah, cock is turning me off. Dick is hot.
Though. But yeah, and it's also like when I would go to those stores and like we would pick out my outfits, like it was all about me and like my sex shit. So it was just like, this is great. Like I loved it.
All the attention on you because it's really about being perceived. Attention. Well, to recap kind of everything we talked about, guys, exhibitionism is a kink. It encompasses a bunch of different kinks. You might be an exhibitionist if you have an early childhood memory involving
being perceived as sexual.
Yeah, or having sex in public or something like that. You fantasize about being watched. You walk around your house naked. You like having sex in public. You enjoy putting on a show for your partner. You like the idea of getting into burlesque, stripping, OnlyFans, or other forms of sexy culture like porn. Did I already say you dress sexy to pull attention? I'm drunk. And you like bringing your partner with you while shopping for lingerie.
Yeah. But overall, it's like the biggest one too is like just fantasizing about being watched and being really comfortable in your sexuality, and you want people to look at you like you like that sort of attention. Not all the time, because nobody likes that all the time. Like we all go through shit, but it's like at the end of the day, I would definitely say I'm an exhibitionist.
100%. And we learned this
through doing this episode. Like we always
research.
Like, we knew that this shit about ourselves, but I honestly didn't know there was a word for it. And maybe you guys are going to be like, you guys are so dumb. Like, we knew about this. Because, like, it's weird that, like, we knew about voyeurism and not this. Like, why is that one more common?
Because I feel like, honestly, based on the statistics, like, there's generally more men who are exhibitionists. But I also feel like men are generally more comfortable talking about their sexuality and sex, whereas women can kind of like there's not as many conversations. But I feel like when you think voyeur, you usually think man. Like you usually think a man and his wife, and he likes to watch his wife get fucked. That's usually what I think of.
Right.
You know, so I feel like voyeur, it's just like it comes up more. I've been sexting guys before where they're into the voyeur shit. So you know that term, but exhibitionists didn't know.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Now we know. So before we wrap up, we did do some polls on our story about this topic and asked you guys some questions. So I'm just going to read through those quickly. Pretty interesting. We asked you guys if it turns you on to masturbate in front of your partner, and 100% of you said yes. Not one person said no. This one was like the biggest, like half and half one. So it was, do you fantasize about being watched? And 56% said yes, and 44% said no. So that one's very like either you do or you don't, feels like. And this one shocked me. But we asked you guys, does the idea of sex performance scare you or excite you? And 92 motherfucking percent of y'all said that it excites you. So is our people following us like all strippers and
our audience,
sex work creators? Because I love that. And then 8% said, no, thank you, not for me. And then the last one was, do you like walking around your house naked? And 81% yes, and then 19% said no. Did I say that weird? 19% said no. So thank you guys if you answered our polls. We're definitely going to be doing more of that in the future, and we really want you guys to send stuff in. Any stories, comments, or questions you want to share. And we did get a couple of those. We're not going to read all of them, but we just chose 3 that our we liked. Yeah. So Fiji, do you want to read those?
Yeah. So the first one is a little story. Yeah. They said, I fucked my girlfriend in front of my friend's house in the street. And then a month later, fucked that same friend on the street.
Bro, just because I know who wrote this, I'm like, are you fucking serious right now? That's a lot.
But I get how it would turn me on too, honestly, especially if at the time you fucked your girlfriend in front of that friend's house, you were fantasizing about the other person, because then it's like a love triangle coming full triangle.
Yeah, and it's like you were really fucking who you wanted now, like.
Yeah. And on the same street in the same place. Maybe that's your spot. I don't know.
Yeah, that's hot. No, it is.
It is pretty hot. I would do it. Shout out to you. Keep the exhibitionism up.
Yeah.
You want to read the next one?
Yeah, and then someone shared that they used to be a cam girl and they enjoy other people watching them get off. And
they found out through being a cam girl.
Yeah, through that found out that they enjoy, people watching them. And that's like what I was saying when I would say to the strip club customers, like, do you want to just watch me do this in VIP? And that's it. Like, because I love that. Like, it's so good.
And that's like, how they say, like, find a way to get paid for doing what you love. Like, like, you feel me? If it's one of your kinks to be watched, why not?
Dude, this is literally making me want to go back. This is not good.
Okay, but there are other negative reasons why we stopped. So,
but like, even doing the OnlyFans, it was hot to me because like sometimes people would request like certain types of videos, so I would like do like, it would cost more, but I would like make a video specifically for them, and it would turn me on to think about them like watching me like doing that. Like, I don't know, it's interesting.
It is interesting, but shout out to her. I hope she's making a ton of money.
I know, seriously, I hope you are making so much money. And the last one was just a question.
Yeah, the question is, have you ever had sex in a public place, like in the open? And we kind of answered this in the episode. We said, you in the car, roadhead, me in the bathroom.
Yeah, out.
You want to drop one more? Just
locker rooms.
Yeah. Teacher's room.
Yeah, I know. What's like another good one? Yeah, I feel like the bathroom is like the biggest one, but it's not like it's different when it's like it's like a bathroom where people are like waiting to go.
Yeah.
So you have to like.
You're holding up the line.
Yeah, like it's more like that like public bathroom type, which is like so gross, low key, but.
Yeah.
But when you're like turned on, you don't care.
Yeah, I've had sex with other people in the room, like.
Yeah, me too. I'm
trying to think other public places. Definitely like outside in a park. I would
Right.
love to do an airplane. That's one I'd really love to
Me
do.
too. Me too.
I did a train, though. I did a train.
I did a train too. I did a
Like
train
in
too.
the train, not a train. Though.
Oh my
Would
God, I
potentially
forgot
have a
about
train.
that. Yeah, the train one was hot. That was when I was dating the abroad girl. We were like on a
Okay.
train to like a different fucking country, and we like
Yeah.
went to the bathroom, and
Even
it was
hotter.
so hot. She was like, because the bathroom on this train was like different. Like we were in Europe, like it was bougie, and so there was like this like changing table, I think that was big, and she like was like up there, and I was like eating her pussy. Yeah, it was hot.
Hot?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, one other hot one too. I did fuck one of my exes on the kitchen counter of my parents' house. And like, there's you've been to my parents' house, you know,
Yeah,
there's
bro.
windows, and they weren't home, but like, if they were to pull in the driveway, like you can see straight through those windows. So that was definitely
Yeah, that's
it would have been traumatic probably if they walked in, but
yeah. I also had sex on my rooftop in one of my apartments I lived in LA, but it wasn't like, oh yeah, okay, so not my rooftop, I did that, but on this other rooftop of my ex's, he lived in like a building with like a lot of people, so like we were on the rooftop and I was sucking his dick and people were walking by. I remember that. Yeah, that was hot too.
hot.
Fuck. The public thing is so good. And he
hot.
was like so into it, like I was. So we were kind of extra about it. Like we'd be
Yeah.
like, oh my God, should we?
Yeah. And it's like, yes, the answer is always yes.
I know, which is
Actually,
like,
yes.
I kind of do want a partner to like calm me down a little bit. Like I don't need to be doing it that much.
I feel like, yeah, you need like a partner. Well,
But sometimes
Yeah.
it's like fun. I don't know. Like that's why our sex was so good, because we were just turned on by a lot of the same things.
when you bounce off of each other, the energy is just like you both like the same shit. So,
Yeah. Because it's like maybe I wanted to do that, but I was too scared to say it. And then you meet someone that's like also just as into it, and you're like, oh shit, like maybe I'm not alone in this world.
yeah, maybe we like the same shit. Yeah.
But yeah, that's
So
really
hot.
it. We got some other comments and stuff, but we don't want to like dwell on it too much, you know. But
Yeah.
you guys should definitely submit and email us. That's the best way. So wet so dry at gmail.com. The O's are zeros. And make sure you guys are following us in general. We are trying so hard to get content out a lot. I've been
Weekly.
yeah, like actively
Daily with
posting
the
on
socials.
TikTok and everything. So follow us on TikTok and Instagram, So Wet So Dry. Wherever you're listening, we have episodes out on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube, which is the video version. So if you guys are interested in like seeing us, because I know it's like I kind of picture like everyone's watching us, but some people are just listening.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in seeing too, here we are. Catch us on YouTube. But yeah, this was a fun episode. We did good.
We did good. One thing like I love is like a quiet man. Like I love a quiet man. Like if you just sit there or stand there and like look sexy and like give me eyes, or like you're not fucking saying anything, like let me talk. Like let me talk and move around and do whatever, but you just look at me, like that turns me on so
Yes.
much. Because you're building up shit where it's like I want you.
Right.
You know, or like just say one thing like shut up. Shut up.